Welcome back, everyone. We're on into game number 2 for DreamHack. Group B, Group of Death. In the top left-hand corner, the victor of our last game of this series, the Red Zerg player, Startail Life. And his opponent, the blue Protoss player in the bottom right-hand corner, Belshir Vestige, JYP. So last game, JYP was really trying to put on the pressure. He was trying to put up proxy pylons, harass with zealots, harass with oracles. He even went in with that early zealot stalker play to to just get control of the game. But Startail Life, he wasn't down with any of that. Only taking 6 kills to the oracle, shutting down every single attempt JYP had at harassment, while during the same time pressured with Hydralisks, pressured with Zerglings, counterattacks, all the while just to go into a huge tech switch out of Hydras, straight into an insane amount of Mutalisks, and just thrash JYP. One thing I noticed is JYP made 1 Colossus that game, which seemed to be the smart move, considering his opponent was going for a Mutalisk transition. He had the 1 Colossus out to do enough damage to deal with those Hydralisks. But in the end, the Mutalisks, the harass was just way too strong. And then that's the point where kind of JYP fell flat at that point. Startail Life just showed to be such a strong player there. We'll see if Startail Life can sneak in an expansion. Yep, there he goes again, gets that expansion. And this time, JYP on a much smaller map. Probably going to go with some type of 2-base play here. You know, in Belshir Vestige, a map of this size, against a player like Startail Life, I definitely wouldn't want him to get into the late game macro. We saw how well that turned out with our previous game, so it really doesn't surprise me at all. We see JYP go on a map like this. Pretty good Protoss player map, and we'll see what type of play he's going to go for. I really expect him to go for some type of 2-base play, you know, try and bust Startail Life before he gets too strong, before Life reaches his final form. Which is kind of a metaphysical question if you think about it. What is Life's ultimate form? Is it the singularity? Is it the black goo? I don't know, man. That's out of the scope of this StarCraft 2 commentary. Oh gosh. Anyways, next is going down there for JYP. Startail Life taking his 3rd base. Pretty similar build here for Startail Life. Startail Life doesn't care what map it is. He's gonna go with his pool hatch. He loves it. It works. Whatever. I remember the last time I commentated this map was a Zerg versus Protoss. JYP went for a hatch, I think, versus a Protoss player who ended up going for a 2-base play. I guess whenever you almost know for almost a complete certainty that your opponent is going to go for a 2-base play and not going to apply any pressure before that point, you can take the risk of going for a hatch into a pool, knowing that they're not going to do anything to you before they go with their timing attack. That comes at, 10, 11 minutes depending on the build. So we'll see how that works out. JYP setting up his wall. And Startail Life probably getting some gas here in a little bit, or at least speed here for his Zerglings. Roachmore going up though, so we'll see if he devotes some early gas to his Zerglings or if he starts to save up some gas for Roaches. Probably going to go ahead and get speed first now, but hasn't yet added on a 2nd gas. Really curious to see what Startail Life is going to do at this point. So he's got enough gas. He's got 120. Definitely not getting speed. Saving up for the Roaches. So this Roach attack, there's going to be a lot of Roaches coming out here. Probe does scout out the 3rd base. Sees that. Might try to get into the main. No, he's just going to chill out over here. Proxy Pylon from JYP gets scouted out by Startail Life. So he's aware JYP looking to get into some trouble. 5 Roaches coming out. 6 Roaches. Scratch that. JYP building up a nice gas count of himself. So there's a lot of Roaches going to come out. That's going to allow him to easily shut down any type of harassment play with Zealots and Mothership Core. Can easily take out this Pylon. So 6 Roaches seems to be the magic number for you Zerg players out there. Now look at this, JYP actually planning on going for a third base. I'm kind of surprised by this, but nevertheless, let's see if it works out for him. Look at this, Startail Life sneaks in with a Zergling, slow Zergling nonetheless, and he's going to scout out everything. Nope, actually, he will get blocked off there, but he does see the Forge, and there's nothing else to see in the main, so sees the one Forge. And at the same time, look, the scout's out the third. He sees it with this Overlord. Startail Life knows what's going down. He's starting to work on his speed. Probably feels a little bit more confident after scouting out that third base and knows there's nothing coming in the near distant future. He can go ahead and do some droning. Saturate that third. Saturate that natural. Get some more gas popping up. Starting to work on his tech. Get that layer up and going. One evolution chamber for him as well. Both players are sticking with the one evolution chamber, one forge builds. And even taking a fourth base. Whoa, Startail Life. Jeez, man. Go your jets, bro. Like, I don't even, JYP wouldn't even scout that. Like, I wouldn't even imagine a Protoss player would scout for a fourth base at this point in the game. But Startail Life loves making extra bases. He's got map control. He's heading out or chilling out here at the Zalnaga Tower with the Roaches. And just keeping an eye on this third base over here. And he sees a lot of photon cannons going to go up. That's 3 photon cannons. Interesting. No gases yet at the natural for JYP. Just working on that +1 attack upgrade. Got a lot of sentries. Working on the Twilight Council. No Robo yet to be seen. Might just go with a really heavy Stalker count. Some Archons into the mix. Startail Life soon to be up on 6 gas. It's going to give him a lot of options. At the natural here of JYP. Startail Life doing a little bit of poking. Fortunately, JYP pokes back. Even harder. Killed 4 Zerglings. The one Mothership Core is just being such a nag to these Roaches. Just poking them. Just poking them. Saying, no, not this Zalnaga Tower. You can have the other one, but this one's mine. JYP soon to be up on 6 gas as well. And now JYP scouts out the 4th base, so sees there's a 4th base over there. The JYP's guy probably got to be thinking, okay, do I attack this base first, or do I just go straight under the natural, go for an attack? Startail Life pulling back all his overlords. So it looks like there's a town meeting. They're going to discuss creep, neighborhood watch, you know, stuff like that. JYP being very consistent with these Phoenixes, continuing to scout out his opponent, wants to be, you know, in touch with what Startail Life could throw at him. Speaking of throwing at him, he's got a lot of Roaches making their way up to the natural, but seeing all those Zealots and Sentry, he's going to turn around, come back, pick off a Zealot, do a little bit of retreating. Is a Force Field going to trap him? Yes, a Force Field goes down, 5 Roaches are trapped up there, but he does a burrow. Startail Life, this tricky man, going to use that burrow, apply pressure out through the front, and there is no detection except for this photon cannon, and he's actually in range of these, so these 3 Roaches will be forfeit. They will go down. But Startail Life forcing a lot of sentries. Look at all this. The energy is about halfway gone from these sentries total for all these. So that's going to slow down any attack he's got coming in the future. 20 Zerglings coming out, 8 Roaches, and a +2 attack upgrade. Infestation Pit coming down as well. Even 2 more gases at the 4th. Startail Life really looking to get the gas count up. And he runs a DT in right above an Overseer, which is the worst place to be for a DT, and that's just unfortunate. But nevertheless, the one here, the natural, I thought it was going to have more success, but no, Startail Life, not one to be outdone. Has an Observer or an Overseer there as well. Pretty good base defense from JYP at the 4th, or sorry, at the 3rd base. Keeping most of his army here at the natural. The main, got the Dark Templar Shrine, a couple more gateways, nothing else to speak of. Actually, there's the Robotech, making some Immortals, a Robotics Bay coming out as well. But look at this Startail Life coming in with a very substantial army, 200 supply. He's just going to come in here from 2 different directions. Time Warp goes down, Immortal in a really good location. Force Fields go down. Zerglings sneak through those Force Field. Roaches, Hydras just pushing their way through to the natural here of JYP. More Force Fields go down, but Startail Life will not be slowed down whatsoever. He is just killing anything he can get his little Zergy claws on over here. Just throwing his entire army at JYP. And JYP, he's running out of Force Fields at this point. He used a lot of Force Fields earlier on those Roaches with limited success. We got 1 DT out. That guy is going to be able to do a little bit of damage, but no, look at this Startail Life moves in the Overseer, takes out that DT, And JYP is in a little bit of a pickle now. He's separated from his natural. He's forced to pull back to his third. Immortal taking a little bit of damage, already racking up 7 kills. But look at this across the map. So many forces from StarTale Life just continuing to just stream across the map. And StarTale Life has made his home outside the natural. JYP Colossus is out. That'll need to do a lot of damage here. And there we get 2 up front on both sides. Colossus goes down, unfortunately, to some miss micro there. Hydras and Roaches deal a lot of damage. The natural from JYP has broken, and StarTale Life is going to go straight for the jugular of JYP. JYP is going to warp in a couple Zealots. He's got Blink done at this time. He's going to pull his army from the third over there as well, but a couple more Zerglings and Roaches make their way in. And the StarTale Life army just will not be shut down. He's just continuing to pressure. DTs are going to try and hold the line here at the natural. Twilight Council is a little bit vulnerable here. Will StarTale Life take it out? No, he's just going to depower it, which is pretty much pretty useless at that point. But man, StarTale Life, such a huge army. He's got that 4 base economy, and there's not really much JYP can do at this point. He's got a Spore Crawler and actually Spore Crawler at every single base and a Spine Crawler at each of these outer bases. So he's very set up very well to deal with any DTs. So at this point, StarTale Life feeling he's done pretty good. He's just waiting for these Vipers to build up some energy. He's going to go back in, use those Vipers, pull out the Archon, Immortal, Mothership Core, Colossus, take out the key gas-intensive units from the Protoss army, kind of dismember him, and then going for the killing blow. JYP is going to have some pretty good micro here. He's going to have to maybe snipe those Vipers, but he doesn't have any High Templar to do that, so that's going to be very hard. He's going to have to use Blink Stalkers, and if he blinks underneath those Vipers, he's going to put himself in a precarious position. There we go. He grabbed one of those Colossus. That guy drops down so quickly. Another one gets snagged with the big long tongue of the Viper, and that's just bad news here for JYP. The second strongest unit he has left is an Archon. He's got an Immortal. And Time Warp goes down here. JYP just trying to buy as much time as possible. Colossus coming out, +3 attack is a third of the way being done, but 2 more DTs being warped in here. There is no Overseer to speak of, so these DTs are just going to chomp through StarTale Life's army. But at this point, JYP's got a pretty good concave, and this is going to be all she wrote for StarTale Life. He's got this army is just going to die here. But nevertheless, StarTale Life does have a pretty big economy. JYP has fought it off for the time being. But StarTale Life's, supply just will not go down. It's 170. JYP's still at 122. He lost a lot of units in the retreat here. But that's a lot of drones he pulled from his main. So mostly mined out his main. And we have a counterattack from StarTale Life over here at the third. Just got 5 roaches. He can one-shot those probes pretty easily. Actually, it only takes 3 roaches to one-shot probes. Just kind of keeping him busy, keeping JYP on the defensive. JYP looking to take a 4th base on the left side of the map here. StarTale Life doesn't have anything over there to scout it out, so that may go up and stay up for a little while. +3 range attack here from StarTale Life, just now beginning to be researched. He's got that Hive Tech, which is nice. He can throw up some ultras if he feels like it, but at this point, this Roach, Hydra, Ling, Viper army is pretty strong. It's been pretty good to keep JYP stuck in his base. JYP sitting over there at the third, trying to rebuild that wall once again at the natural. StarTale Life is in a really good position. He's already up through the choke point. A couple Roaches going to go on straight into the main. Oh, look at those double grabs. Gets one Colossus. The second one will manage to run past that front line of the Stalkers and fall back. DT's up there dealing some damage, but there is an Overseer in this mix as well. And that Oracle goes down, or sorry, Observer goes down, and StarTale Life was relentless with this attack. Look at that long-range tongue. Takes out another Colossus. Man, those Vipers are so strong without those High Templars that drop down those feedbacks. And those Vipers have just been critical in allowing StarTale Life to pick off those high-value units from JYP. So another Colossus is out. DT's trying to just cut through here. Look at that nice corruption on the warp gates. But the Hydras do so much damage with their upgrades. Colossus do have +3 upgrades themselves, so they're nothing to be sneered at. But unfortunately, these Colossus just are getting picked off every single time StarTale Life shows up with Vipers and Hydralisks. More Roaches here from StarTale Life are just wandering into JYP's base, looking for something to do. Another corruption goes down on that robotics facility. Great thing to corrupt. 3 Overseers unfortunately go down, but StarTale Life doesn't care. Sending more and more units across the map. 4th base is up for JYP. StarTale Life has yet to scout that out. DT looking to get a couple hits in. Sees that Overseer, morphing above his head, decides to fall back. He really needs to get some High Templars out here, but fortunately just doesn't have the economy to do that. 58 workers versus 74. Supply 100 versus 174. Got a couple Stalkers trying to be heroes out here. And this sneaky 4th base has kind of just been the savior of JYP at this point. It's allowing him to, you know, try to recoup any losses that he's had from this almost consistently ongoing battle from StarTale Life. Another Viper grab picks off that Colossus, and without that extra damage in the back, the DTs are going to move in to do some damage as well. There's no Overseer, and that's going to cause StarTale Life to fall back, at least for the time being, until he gets another Overseer in position. He's got one chilling out over here. There he goes. He's like, all right, you've been summoned. You've got to scout out for these DTs. These guys are such a pain in the ass. StarTale Life throwing up a 5th base. Feeling pretty confident about that. Keeps trying to get his way up into the natural. These DTs are going to be caught out of position. All 3 of them go down. No, just 2. A couple more force fields. No Vipers in position, so that Colossus can be pretty effective. Scratch that. One Viper shows up. He pulls a Colossus straight on in there. Nice. Nice haul there on that Viper. And without that, without sentries, these Roaches and Hydras pushing forward, DTs being warped in, but realize that they can be seen. Immortal's being brought in position. Stalker's doing some pretty good blink microwave here on the left. Immortal goes down very quickly without any support. GG from JYP. StarTale Life is just an unrelenting force of aggression here on this map. JYP just never could just grab on to life. It's like he just tries to put his hands around him and life just explodes and he's all over everywhere. He's like the Sandman or the human blob. You just like punch him and then you just gotta get absorbed and sucked into him, and he's like, no, that's it, man, you're part of me now. And he's just everywhere all the time. StarTale Life proves he is the superior player in this best of 3 series, going 2-0 versus JYP. Thank you guys for watching. Pretty good series here. If you want to check out more of my stuff, head on over to youtube.com/EonShiKeno. Remember, every Mondays, check out my StarCraft 2 content. New content every week. Tuesday, DayZ/Arma 3 stuff. And on Friday and Saturday, Hearthstone Arena Run. If you want to watch the worst arena run in the history of arena runs, so watch my previous series. It's pretty bad. Normally they're good, but that one was just, I had an off night. What can I say? Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.